Hello, my name is Eric Fernandez with EF Homes, and let's talk rural properties. Everybody thinks it's a great idea to live in the mountains, but not everybody knows about all the intricacies involved with owning a house in the mountains. So whether you're looking at buying something up here or you already own something and you want to make sure we showcase that property in the right light and it is dialed in and answers all the questions buyers might have in today's market, that's where we come into play. We've been doing this for many years. We understand all the systems and potential pitfalls, the spotlights, all these things that have to do, whether it's mountain property, agricultural property, vineyard property, equestrian property, all these things we have in our market, which is so special about where we live, right? There's a little bit of everything for somebody. And you can't say that about every place. So whether you're in Santa Cruz County, San Mateo County, Santa Clara County, pretty much the greater Silicon Valley, we are your rural property experts. So there's so many things that you might not have ever thought about or know what to ask. It's so different from buying a property in town. We'll answer those questions for you. When we go through our disclosure packages, we talk about all these things, whether, we pull a title report and we talk about easements, what's your access to this property? What are the potential bonuses of the access or pitfalls of that access? That's going to be in there as well. And then there's going to be talking about how does the property function? Is there solar on this property? Can I be off grid? A lot of these properties are very top. Like today we're here at our newest listing, which is at 1,500 feet. Full of sun, great solar property that it can basically run itself on solar, which is a big deal in today's changing environment. These are some of the things that, again, we're going to break down for you, and it's very detailed. What else is special about how these properties operate? Definitely, there's no sewer systems up here in the mountains, so everybody's on what they call a septic system, if you're not familiar with that. But basically, it's a system that collects the waste and disperses it through the property in a clean way. And so these systems need to be monitored occasionally, and then when you do sell the property, it's required now that we do an inspection of that to make sure that those leach fields, they call them, are working properly and dispensing that waste. So it's not super complicated, but you just have to know how it works. And if that if that system hasn't been maintained in a very long time, then yeah, you could be looking at some significant repairs. But that's where we do this stuff ahead of time. So whether you're the seller, you know what pitfalls might be for a buyer. And if you're the buyer, you know whether you have a clean slate or you need to maybe put some money into upgrading that system. We'll dive into that deeper if you want to know more about that, but that's kind of a nutshell in the septic. The next one is the wells, water supply. You just no city water up here, but the aquifers down here are all over the place, and there are different levels. And so people, wells, you can get wells drilled, and you might have a well at all these different elevations down underground. So that affects how much water your property produces. So that's part of our test. We'll do a test of the, what's the gallons per minute, so you know how much water your property is producing. This is important. And also, like, what's in the water? You want to know, metals and different things that you have to look out for health and safety. Do we need to treat the water? Is it already being treated? All of these things is part of our well inspections. Again, it's very important you do all these things. And then the inspections are definitely more in depth than just your average house. I mean, here in the mountains, you've got heavier wind, you've got more rain. These things take a little bit of a beating on a property. So you need to know really, what's that roof condition, what's going on with maybe possible dry rot issues, is there termite damages, all these things you want to know because it could cause far more damage than just in town. So we have the right inspectors that take care of that. The other thing is drainage and retaining walls. And if you're on a ridge, where is that water running? If you have a hill above you, is it going to be draining? You want to know, am I going to have to deal with a potential like sump pump issue, or is there water going to be building up somewhere? All this stuff is things you might not think about when you just walk in. You take in this beautiful view, right? All you see is the view, the beauty, and maybe you don't know about some of these things. Well, that's where we come into play. We spotlight all that. Mountain living is awesome. People love it. You want to get away from it all. Let's say you don't want to have a neighbor. This is what it's all about. Right here, there's nobody around us. You can't see anybody, and yet we're 25 minutes to Saratoga, or we're 10 minutes into Santa Cruz, or Boulder Creek rather. So depending on exactly where you're coming from, drive times are all different, but they're all fairly reachable. And again, it comes down to access. What's the road like? Talked about easements. All these things are part of what rural property is all about. Access, if you're looking for a horse property, can I get my horse trailer in there? If I want to park a big RV, is this the right property for that? All these different questions you might not know. There's also regulations. What can you do on your property? How many structures can you add? We have answers to all these questions. So if you are thinking about it, contemplating, just want to know, or already own a property and you want somebody on your side who's an expert in rural property, give me a call. I'm just a phone call, text, or email away. Make it a great day.